parents. Dr. Drew, mixing sodas with the beerings. Dr. Drew, so why don't everybody cheer it? Dr. Drew.
This the one right here, yo.
Throw your hands in the air, it's Dr. Drew, mixing sodas with the beerings. Dr. Drew, so why don't everybody cheer it? Dr. Drew.
This the one right here, yo.
You got
What are y'all, your social media platform artist and the host of the great YouTube channel. I'm your host, the one and the only Dr. Drew here, everyone. How are we on this awesome Thursday evening right here, y'all? Today's video, we're going to give you guys another history video of a conflict right here. This is a conflict with many people always talk about. It happened in the Middle East back in 1967 right here, y'all. Became one of the most embarrassing battle wars that ever happened to a group of nations that went up against one small nation right here. We're going to talk about the Six-Day War right here, y'all. The history of the Six-Day War. That's right, y'all. We need to talk about this. This is a lesson that we all need to learn about right here. It's something that when many people always have this question about it. What went wrong for the Egyptian and the Arabic armies that we up against one little nation, Israel, right here, y'all. This is a question that many people had always want to know about and want to talk about, and you want to know from Dr. Drew here. Well, I got you guys this right here, y'all. Before we get started, if you guys new to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to this channel, hit notification down below, comment down below to see what you guys thought about about this video and my opinion about the story right here, y'all. And all of you guys want Dr. Drew merch, go to comment below to give you guys Dr. Drew merch right here. Hatwear, drinkware, and shirtwear, and all the long sleeve shirt or hoodies right here, y'all. Get ready for winter itself. Also, you guys want something that will give you hydration, focus, energy, and protein? Go to Beach Yard to give you guys Dr. Drew powders right here, y'all. To give you enough to get you through the whole entire day and night right here at gym, workout, or school. You're also coming soon from Beach Yard. My powder I have going to release a new product that y'all will going to like this one right here. You guys might like that for morning time right here, y'all. Get it? So without further ado, let's get it party started. Let's go back to the history of the conflict between the Arabic nations like Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Wait, let me try again. Egypt, Jordan, Syria, what else? The West. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. All right. I'm going to say it one more time. The Arabic nations like Egypt, Jordan, Syria, and also parts of Iraq, all had the one thing they have in common, alright? Israel. Israel, to them, they are a threat to them ever since 1948 when Israel became an independent nation and then launched the first Israel-Arabic War back in 1948, which resulted in Israel beating the Arabic nation but lose the West Bank towards Jordan and Syrian forces, and also to the Gaza Strip to Egypt. You know the story about that. Remember the story between Israel and Palestine? They always had this conflict with each other since 1948, and they both don't agree on a two-state solution ever since. All right. Well, everything, and then back in 1956, when the Suez Canal crisis happened between Egypt and the British, French and Israel forces who want to overthrow Nasser, the president of Egypt, Gamal, again, overthrow the president himself, Gamal Abdel Nasser, right here. But unfortunately, the Soviet and U.S. didn't like that, and they told Britain and France to withdraw from the Suez Canal, which showed one of the biggest reasons why the Russia and U.S. should not be messed with back in the Cold War era, right here, y'all. And then finally, back in the 1960s, tension between Egypt and the Arabic nation and Israel started getting worse and worse right here. Because when you look at this, there was a crisis that happened when the Egyptian president and the leader of Syria had made a defense agreement, and also blocking the Strait of Tehran from Israel chips on May right here. Even worse that happened between Israel and the Arabic nation when the Soviet Union had made false reports about Israel launching a mass forces across the Syrian border, which I think that, to me, that Soviet Union was the real reason why this war happened, because one of the main reasons why this war happened, because the Soviets that want to lie to the Middle Eastern alliance right here, try to cause more tension between the two, with the Arabic nation and the Israeli nation right here, you know. Alright, I blame the Russian for this crap right there. And then Egypt and the Arabic nation decided to mobilize their forces and try to prepare a border defense against Israel. And Israel have been preparing for this for a really long time right here, y'all. Israel tried to make sure that their nation, the Jewish nation, will be safe against any nation that want to destroy them. So Israel decided to get themselves prepared and try to strike first, because when you think about it, Israel was by themselves and they were outnumbered, outgunned, but they were well trained in combat. Alright, in combat, in tanks and stuff right here. You know, they had lesser tanks than their counterparts. When you see that Egypt and the Arabic nation had well equipped and well-advanced tanks, such like T-55 tanks or T-62 tanks in battle against the Israeli forces, while the Israeli forces use old tanks such like the Centurion tanks or the M48 Patton tanks in battle. But however, they made them make sure that their tank crew had been trained for this moment since day one, including trained their air forces as well. So on June 1st, 1967, Israel launched their airstrike on Jordan, Syria, Egypt, and Iraq air bases, knocking all of them out right here, y'all. Following the couple hours after airstriking those air bases, alright, Israel launched their ground forces against Egypt and the rest of the nations, Arabic nation right here, y'all. First off, they went up against the Egyptian army, taking the Gaza Strip from the Egyptian army. Y'all try to put them out of the Syria, sorry, y'all, so many things to say right here. Try to take the Sinai Peninsula right here, y'all. Unfortunately, the Israeli had made a bold attack on them. Made sure that Egypt was not ready for this conflict and this attack from them as well, because Israel had been making false reports to the UN and to the US about what's happening in Israel, alright? Try to pretend that their army are not ready, they take a vacation, air forces were as well giving false report to the Middle Eastern country to make them think that they were not ready for war. But however, they made a spy attack and tricked everybody and launched the attack on Egypt and the Arabic Air Force. And with them knocked out, the Israeli forces managed to put through, fighting off the Egyptian army, taking out all the multiple tanks that the Egyptian army was using in the fighting against them. But unfortunately, a lot of their Egyptian tanks that were in the Sinai Peninsula getting destroyed. They're getting their butts whooping. Alright? In one day, when the Egyptian forces tried to retreat out of the Sinai and head toward the Gaza Strip, they were blocked in the Matilda Pass, and they were brutally got their butts destroyed. You got tens of thousands of Egyptian forces lost their lives by the Israeli forces. While that is happening, the Israeli forces had sent forces into the West Bank, fighting off the resistance against the Jordanians and the Syrian forces that were occupying the West Jerusalem and Palestine. Eventually, by the end of that day, they managed to put them out of the West Bank for good. Alright? Following the aftermath, after 2 days of fighting against the Egyptian army, on June 8th, the Israeli army had managed to take over the Sinai Peninsula, alright, causing casualty on the Egyptian army, including capturing multiple forces as well. One of the biggest things that make it question about that, why did Egypt forces manage to get their butts whooping? Because when you look at it this way, the Egyptian army were not as trained, and also wasn't as strong as many Arabic nations had thought, because they lost over tens of thousands of their forces toward the Israeli, and over thousands of their men were captured. Most of them were conscript soldiers that had not been really trained in close combat, which caused many leaderships in the Arabic nation were like infuriated with Egypt and their military leadership right here. Well, after that, Israel launched their attack on the other Arabic nations, such as the Syrian Golan Heights, right here, which they took part of it on June 9th. Israel launched airstrike and artillery bombardment on the Golan Heights, or the Purple Line, right here. Syrian forces trying to hold on to their ground and stuff on Mount Haran and Tariya. But however, after 2 hours of airstrike on June 8th, on June 9th, around there, their forces attacked. But how it made no success on June 8th. But on June 9th, the Israel army, on June 9th, they managed to breach the Syrian first line of defense right there, causing mass casualty. Even though they try to do their best to hold on, but however, no reinforcement came in and stuff. And so on June 10th, the Syrian forces decided to retreat out of the Golan Heights, out of the mountains, burning documents, destroying bunkers, all of that stuff right here. On June 10th, the Syrian forces lost the Golan Heights right there. This is a big disappointment for the Syrian forces. They too are not prepared for the attack from the Israeli forces. When you think about it, it's kind of like a blitzkrieg attack right here, because in order for Israel to win this conflict and defend their nation, they had to strike first. When mass airstrikes, mass artillery bombardment, all of that. And also got Jordan completely out of. We're not making Jordan also not prepared. They managed to take out the Jordanian forces in the Jordanian territory as well. All right, this was a disappointment. Even also, the Arabic nation leader tried to tell the people that they're not losing, they're winning the war. But however, the Arabic people are now seeing more of their forces getting killed in combat against the Israeli forces, including hundreds of tanks with the Egyptian and the Arabic forces that had supposed to be well advanced and well equipped, but however, they got over hundreds of them got destroyed by the old tanks that Israel been using against them. Alright? But on the same day of June 10th, the Arabic nations had signed a ceasefire, losing the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, and the Golan Heights. This war was so embarrassing that all the Arabic nations had been questioning themselves. What went wrong? What did they do to lose this conflict right here? Because it was poor leadership. Because when you think about it, Arabic nation leader of the Arabic army only appointed their family member into military position. However, some of their family members who got appointed did not know how to lead forces or learn how to make strategy against their enemies. All right, they made a fool of themselves toward their own leaders of their own nation right there, and made embarrassment toward their own people, which led to multiple had lost so many morale against the Israel forces, while the Israeli forces morale had gotten bigger and stronger during the 6th day of the fighting. Eventually, the Arabic nation were so embarrassed of losing the territory, they will go. What they want to revenge on them until 1973, the Yuan War. All right, here, y'all. I could talk about that war soon, someday. All right, y'all. I hope y'all would like that one. Okay. And also, Israel taking back the West Bank, also a disappointment towards not just the Arabic nation, but the Palestinian people, which led to multiple terror attacks following the aftermath of the 6-Day War, which we saw that happen all over the media, all over the news, including the Munich terror attack by the Palestinian forces back in the 1970s. Remember that story right there? And this story of the 6-Day War will be remembered as one of the biggest victories in modern day history for Israel. And this story had caused so much controversy, including casualty. You want to know the casualty right here, y'all? Israel in the 6-Day War had lost over 1,000 of their forces, 4,500 wounded, and 15 captured, and losing over 400 tanks in the conflict, and losing 46 planes in that 6th day. But Egypt had lost over around 15,000 men. 15,000 men or missing, and over 4,300 of their soldiers captured, while Syria lost over between 1,000 or 2,500 men, and 600 of them were captured, and Jordan had lost over 700 men, and 535 captured. That is like the total of over 23,000 Arabic soldiers killed or captured, killed or missing right here, and over 6,000 of them were captured during the 6-day conflict. It was tragic for the Arabic nation to lose that much manpower right here. It also losing over. You want me to tell you how many tanks they lost? Over 800 to 900 tanks that the Arabic nation lost in that 6-day conflict. They were supposed to be more advanced than their enemy tank, but however, it seemed like their tank crew wasn't really trained in the tank combat at all, which led to the Matalia Pass, with multiple tanks were destroyed by Israel tanks and their air force right there, y'all. This was a tragic day for the tanks crews of the Arabic nation right there, y'all. Jeez, it sucked to be an Arabic soldier in combat against the Israel forces on that day. And when you think about it, next time they want to be ready for another fight against Israel right here, y'all. And there you have it. This is a video about the 6-Day War. I hope y'all have a great day. Please subscribe to the channel, hit notification down below, comment down below, and see what you guys think about my video about the 6-Day War right here, y'all. I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time right here, y'all. Peace out, y'all.